Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another morning musings. Glad you all could join us. It's cold, guys. It's really cold. I just had a jacket on until about 2 minutes ago. Feels like I've got the air conditioner on in this back room, but no, it's chilly out. I hope everybody is about ready for Christmas because it's almost upon us. I think it's like Wednesday? We actually have some shopping that we've got to go do this morning. So this probably won't be the longest live stream, but so I got to get out and do some running around before traffic gets too bad. First off, shout out to our sponsors, Gopher Ridge Quail Farm, which is HP Murray out of Georgia. HP supplies hatching eggs for us to give away every week on the live streams. He also gives us hatching eggs for prizes like the photo contest that we just did over on the Coturnix Corner Facebook group, which we're going to be announcing the winner of that today also. And Hatching Time. Hatching Time's been with us pretty much since day one. They give us a $50 gift certificate to give away. So if any of you guys are looking for any, poultry related equipment, help them out. Check out their website, hatchingtime.com, and kind of help them guys out a little bit. Let's see what else. I just released a video, guys. A little short 5-minute video on the Coturnix Kids program that we're doing. I'm going to really try to get this thing pumped up for 2025. I logged into the CoturnixCorner.com website yesterday and went through. I think we still got like a dozen or more entries in there. But if you've got kids that are interested, check out that video. Kind of explains a little bit about what we do and what's required to get started with it. We've got some great sponsors for that. They give away some really good prizes. Wholesome Harvest supplies a 40-pound bag of feed to get the kids started. Southern Biophiliac and Big Spring Quail supply hatching eggs. Bryant's Roost supplies a incubator to get the kids started. Pips and Chicks and Champions Blend support us with the Tractor Supply gift certificate. And then, of course, Hatching Time gives us a 2-unit layer cage to get the kids started with. So check that out. Like I say, if you've got any kids that are interested, What we're doing this year is a little bit different from last year. Last year you had to join Coturnixcorner.com in order to enter your kids. But what I think I'm going to do for 2025 is, I know some people are reluctant to, join another social media type website. So what we're going to do this year, along with the Coturnixcorner.com entries, we're going to accept entries via email. You guys can just email me your kids write up and pictures and video or whatnot, and I'll go ahead and make sure that it gets posted into the group over there. That way our judges, can go through and select the winners for each month. So let's see that. Another video that I'm working on right now, that's going to be coming out probably before the first of the year, and that is the 2025 recommended breeders list for the Coturnix Corner recommended breeders list for 2025. So check that out. We will be, I'm going to try to have it posted before January 1st. So we'll see how that goes. Hold on, I got to get a drink. Let's see what else. Okay, let's go on to the photo contest winner. There were a lot of good photos, guys. I think we had like 70 some odd entries. A lot of really good photos. I can tell you one thing. If you guys are going to enter this, take photos in the horizontal landscape, because it makes it a lot easier for me to make a group banner or group header picture out of it. So, but anyhow, this winner for this contest, we do the contest every 3 to 6 months, is Desiree Height. I don't know how you say it, but this is the photo she submitted. I thought it was a really nice photo, pretty decent composition. It's going to look good as a header photo for the website. You know what's weird is I am not seeing my chat room over here. Hold on, there we go. I had the wrong button up. Klaus is in the house. I'll be darned. All right, let's see. Where are we at now? But anyhow, that's the photo. Desiree, thanks for entering your photo. Good job. We're going to go ahead and I'll contact you. If I know you're probably not in the house, but if you watch this later, I'll contact you and get your shipping information from you. She won a 30 count of hatching eggs from HP Murray for that photo. All right. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Giveaways today, obviously. We're going to do a 30 count from Gopher Ridge, and we're also doing a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. So if you guys are interested in either of those prizes and you haven't won a prize on the channel before, like the hatching eggs or the gift certificate, if you won the gift certificate but not the eggs, go ahead and comment Gopher Ridge, and same way the other way around. If you won the hatching eggs but not the gift certificate, comment Hatching Time. I'm trying to get some people that we haven't selected before. So, all right. Andy Rabbit is in the house. It says Merry Christmas. Cool. All right, guys. I guess I'll jump over in the chat room and see what's going on over there. Nabiki says, good morning and happy holidays, everyone. It's still very dark outside, 5:50 a.m. My tea will be ready soon. Well, I'm glad you got up early enough to join us, Nabiki. Reed Creek Homestead says, good morning. Twisted Garrett's Farms in the house this morning, everyone, from Arkansas. Woodtick 1970. Good morning, everyone, from Winter Haven, Florida. Woodtick was our winner last week, I believe. Your hatching eggs, if they haven't already got there, should be there anytime. Woodtick says, I'm looking for a feed recommendation. My chicks will be hatching soon. Well, you're going to want a starter feed for one, whether it's a game bird starter or a turkey starter. I believe you're in Winter Haven, Florida. Yeah, you should be able to get Kalmbach up there. Kalmbach's got a really good starter feed. A lot of people start them off on Purina game bird starter. It will work, but I found that their manure really stinks being fed Purina for some reason. It must be just the ingredients, but yeah, if you can find Kalmbach or another, brand other than Purina, and I hate to say that because I used Purina for a couple years when I first got started. So Nabiki's saying if you can't find game bird starter, try turkey starter. You're looking for around 28% protein. Yep, exactly. Megan says, good morning, everyone from Maryland. Glad you could join us, Megan. Okay, Nabiki's also saying 1.4 to 1.6 on the lysine and 0.5 to 0.9 on the methionine. Good point. Yeah, I mean, there's a post over on the Facebook group page that is by Jeff Maddox. It's basically it's a long thread on people ask him. They post the tag off their feed bag, and Jeff Maddox gives his thoughts and opinions on it. He's a poultry nutritionist, so he really knows what he's talking about. If you're interested, in stuff like that, check it out. Like I say, just go over there, do a search for Jeff Maddox or poultry nutrition. Either one should bring it up. Raymond Shoes in the house says, hello, everyone. Glad you could join us, Raymond. All Out of Spoons is also joining us. Says, good morning, everyone. All Clean Exteriors in the house. Good morning, All Clean Exteriors. I did get your email for the tumbler. I responded back. If you didn't get it, I'm basically going to wait till after the first of the year to ship. I just don't want things getting lost in the mail with the craziness that's going on right now. So you can expect it right after the first of the year. Dragon Girl says, morning all. Dane Paget's in the house. Says, good morning from Georgia. Kind of cold out this morning. Yeah, tell me about it. I think I woke up and it was 44 or 45 degrees. And the thing that stunk about it is that little girl right there had to go out at 4 o'clock this morning. So she woke me up and said, take me out. And it was chilly. Rebecca says, morning all from Canberra, Australia. Cool. Glad you could join us. I like that little kangaroo you got going on there. Yeah, every once in a while we get some people from across the pond. Let's see. All Out of Spoons says, good morning, Terry. Good morning. Kurt's in the house says, good morning. Morning, Kurt. Glad you could join us. Reed Creek Homestead says, nice. Not sure exactly what you're talking about, but okay. Let's see. Did I miss somebody? I guess not. Don Skins in the house says, good morning from South Mississippi. Glad you could join us, Don. Andy Rabbit's joining us. Says, good morning. I believe Andy's in Texas. Jalopy Guy says, hello from Western Washington State. Cool. Glad you could join us. Tony says, I got my humidikit system hooked up and it works great. Very pleased with the product. I have heard a little bit about it, not much. I know Zach over at My Shire Farm used to talk about them on his live streams. I have heard good things about them, so cool. Glad it's working out for you, and it's able to do what it needs to do for the humidity. See, Don Skid says, waiting on my hatching time order to arrive. Should be here Monday. Cool. Congratulations. There's my buddy Klaus says, hey, YouTube opened up your live stream by itself. LOL. Merry Christmas, everyone. Same to you, Klaus. And I made it do that. Maury Straubel's in the house. Says, good morning. Morning, Maury. Glad you could join us. Hope you're staying warm up there in the Great White North. Andy says, that is so nice of the sponsors. Thank you to all. Absolutely. Without the sponsors, I mean, we couldn't do the giveaways. We couldn't do the kids project. And yeah, it's much appreciated. See, Andy's talking to Klaus. Reed Creek Homestead says, congratulations. That's cute. I think we're talking about Desiree's photo. Okay, we got some people looking for the hatching eggs. MTI Gator says, good morning from Arizona. Morning, glad you could join us. Andrew Rabbit says, Merry Christmas. John says, go for Ridge, please. Okay, I'm not going to read all the prize winners, or not the winners, but the volunteers for the prize. Nabiki says the neighbor's dog does not let me sleep in ever. Oh, that stinks. I hate it. I've got a dog right in my backyard that every morning when I take my dogs out, this little yapper on the other side of the fence, and I'm talking like 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Yap. It drives me nuts. Wow, look at that. CWH number 1 says, good morning from 24 degrees New Mexico. Isn't that crazy? 24 degrees in New Mexico. Man. Glad you could join us. Rebel says, hatching time's good morning, or good everyone. Morning from Virginia. 21 here today. Brr, that's chilly. Data Farms in the house is Merry Christmas, everyone, from Central Georgia. Oh, by the way, guys, I announced maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that we were going to put a hold on the Tuesday live streams over the holidays because it's just really hard to get people that want to commit. And my messenger has been blowing up. I've got quite a few people that want to come on the live stream, but I'm still going to hold off, and I'm going to wait till after the new year and let everything settle down. And then I guess we're going to go ahead and schedule Tuesdays lives on the Tuesdays that we have guests. So Woodtick says Kalmbach is hard to find local. Yeah, I can hear you on that one. I had the same problem down here. I couldn't get it. I checked with Chewy, and they said they could ship, but to me, it wasn't worth, to buy 3 or 4 bags. It just wasn't worth the extra money. But so what I did was I went to my local feed store, and for like 3 months, I kept pestering the guy. I said, hey, check on Kalmbach. I said, a lot of people really like the feed. And sure enough, about 3 months later, he called me up, said, Terry, I've got the Kalmbach in. So, and now they carry it all the time. So do that, reach out to your local feed store and ask them if they can check into carrying Kalmbach. Which it says that is the brand I was looking at. HP Murray's in the house. Glad you could join us, HP. Quick hi to all and Merry Christmas. Have to run shortly, pastoring again. That comes first, absolutely. Thanks for checking in anyhow, HP. Reed Creek Homestead says, good morning, HP. Tater Farms has been looking for some escapees this morning. They got out while we were visiting family for Christmas yesterday. Any tips on coaxing them back? Yeah, good luck. I mean, if you can, if you can find them, you can catch them and get them back in. But I seriously doubt you're just going to get them to come back in, like into an aviary type setting or whatever. I know mine won't. Andrew Rabbit says it is cool outside. Good morning, HP. Merry Christmas to you. Kim's in the house. Says good morning from Iowa. Kim, let me pull up a sheet from a few weeks ago. You won something. Kim, you won a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate, and I don't think you ever sent me your information. If you want to send me your information and a good email address to Terry@CoturnixCorner.com, let me put that in the chat room real quick. You can get your gift certificate. It's so cold, I can't even type. Okay. Yep, should be in there. All right. Yeah, Kim, send me your information. Make sure I get a good email address, and I will forward that on to Hatching Time to get your gift certificate for you. Tony says, good morning from Toronto. Glad you could join us, Tony. Tony, it's been a while. All clean exteriors is 12 degrees here in Michigan this morning. That's ridiculous. Raymond says, I'll probably be purchasing a couple 5-tier hatching time cages around the new year. I've got chicks galore. Expand. Cool. I mean, congratulations on that, Raymond. I bought the 3 tiers. The 5-tier, I actually tried going up to 4 tiers, and I had a hard time reaching the top tier. I also had a really hard time getting the bottom tier. So what I did was I went with the 3-tier setups, and I built a cage stand that I put the cages on, and that worked out really well. I could still reach the top cage and also the bottom cage. So yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that the 5 tiers, especially if you're short like I am, it's hard to get to that upper tier. And it's even harder to get into the lower tier because it is so close to the ground. MTI Gators is 31 degrees in Arizona at 5,000 feet. Boy, that just sounds cold. Blaze and Gale says, good morning, all. Hope everyone has a lovely Christmas, as do you. Kim says 21 here in Iowa. Brian Allen says, good morning from Alabama. What would be the best quail to get from eating eggs? Anything in the jumbo variety. I mean, if you're not concerned with the different color varieties, just go with a jumbo Pharaoh or jumbo Egyptians. HP Murray has complete line of all that if you want to check him out, and he's over in Georgia, so shipping to Alabama would not be an issue. But yeah, any of the jumbo varieties. Now the thing with jumbo varieties is, people say, well, I got, jumbo this or jumbo that. They're only jumbos when they ship the eggs to you. They're classified as jumbos. But when you start hatching out eggs and you just have a very random breeding program, if you're not weighing the birds to put them into your breeding program, you're going to lose that jumbo line, relatively quick. You need to be very selective when you're selecting breed or birds as breeders, and that will keep the jumbo line going. Just especially on the rooster, you got to watch the roosters, because roosters, they weigh a little bit less than the hens anyhow. But you don't want a rooster that's in the standard weight classification. You want one that's up into the jumbo classification and is known for producing offspring that fall in the jumbos. So yeah, just don't lose the jumbo classification because you're doing random breeding. Basically what I'm trying to say. Andrew Abbott says, I used to have a deal with barking dogs till one morning I woke up yelling at the phone to make them stop. I was talking to the police department. LOL, guess I slept, called them. No more barking dogs. Cool. Okay, there's my email address, Kim, Kurnixcorner.com. Kim says, I sent the info out last Sunday, but we'll do it again. Thanks. I have a watering system all planned. Thank you. Okay, I didn't get it. I don't know, maybe you misspelled Coturnix Corner or not. Or Kim, if you're in the Facebook group, you can message it to me there. That way I'll definitely get it. Talking to Andy, straight behind me is a bunch of bad dog owners. Yeah, I'm in the same thing. I got neighbors all around me that have dogs, and half of them, I mean, there's a guy not 4 houses up in the next block over. He's got to have a half a dozen dogs, and they're all outside and they bark half the night. And some of the smaller dogs, you can hear them yelping like they're, crying to go in or whatever. I don't know, but they've had the cops called on them too. So I don't know. Megan says, small update. My eggs have finally hatched and are now in the brooder. We have a lot of issues with humidity during lockdown, but what quail we have are doing well. Yeah, that seems to be an issue right now in the winter months. Keeping humidity up to 60, 65% can be a little bit difficult. The easiest way to do it, if it's the outside humidity, lower humidity that's drying it out, is to put it in a room that you can put like a small humidifier in there, put your incubator in the room for that. And that helps a lot. As a matter of fact, I know I've said it before, I've got a video out that I'm working on. It's all recorded. I just haven't got it. I haven't got it edited yet. It's on tweaking your incubators or dialing in your incubators. And I talk a lot about how to get your humidity up in situations where, in the summertime down here, we have the opposite effect. The humidity is like 100% all the time. So I've got to do what I can do to dry out the air inside the incubator. So yeah, I got to get to work on that video. Let's see. Nabiki said, "Oh, the dog barks whenever it's outside and breathing, usually around 5 a.m." Yep. I'm trying to raise white wings. My issue is low hatch rate from mail order eggs. I have 3 white wing hens. My question is, will I get white wings if I breed a regular brown rooster and get white? I believe the white wing is a recessive trait. So yes, you do have the possibility of. The problem with recessives is it can hide. The bird can still be carrying it, but it can hide. So what you need to do, what I would do, is breed birds that show the trait, that show that recessive trait, and then the offspring will also show it. Check with HP Murray. I know he does the jumbo white wings, and I'm sure he can hook you up with some eggs. Yeah, mail order eggs are always I won't say always an issue, but they're always a gamble. A lot of people, want to blame the breeder almost right off the bat. They're like, the breeder's sending eggs that aren't fertile, and usually that's not the case. I mean, the breeders know what birds are or what batches they're collecting from, the fertility rates and everything. It's usually something to do with the shipping itself, the handling, sometimes the temperature, sometimes the delay in shipment. There's so much stuff in shipping. It's just, if you consider it a gamble before you order them, then you won't be surprised when you do have a poor hatch rate. Joe says, checking in from Monticello, Florida. Glad you could join us. MTI Gator says, I'm new to hatching quail. I built a version of your mini incubator and have 60 eggs going into lockdown Thursday. Cool. Congratulations. Let me know how your incubator does. What weight should the males be? A lot of people say that you should choose a male that's a little bit light on the lighter side. I don't do that. I select the heaviest males that I can from a batch. And the reason they say select a lighter male is because you don't want to be beating up your hens while he's mounting them. But I've always selected the largest ones I can. Usually they'll run between 13, 14 ounces, somewhere in there. A 12-ounce rooster I would keep if he's, spectacular. But I like to select a larger one. So yeah, like I say, just make sure that everything that you're selecting is from or falls into the jumbo category weight-wise. That way you're not going to lose that jumbo classification, by breeding standard size birds. Tater Farm says, I love HP's jumbo white wing, huge birds, great when they don't go on the lamb and hide out. Cool. Gidraz Family Farms and Huts. Good morning, Quailers. Aaron, I did watch your live stream last night, or parts of it. Very interesting. I seen you guys were talking about apple trees. We used to have apple trees. Well, we didn't. My neighbors did up in Michigan. We used to go over there as kids and kind of steal the green apples out of their trees. But that was pretty interesting. I didn't know anything, about cutting the tip off of a seed before planting it. So I actually learned something. Joe says, question, do you see certain hens that lay fairy eggs more than other hens? Are they caused by a nutritional deficiency? I don't know that it's caused by a nutritional deficiency, and yes, I have had hens that lay the little fart eggs, we used to call them. I would usually, if I could figure out which hen it was, I usually just call that hen. I'd end up butchering her. But yeah, I've had hens that will lay a fairy egg, or fart egg, we call them, and then the next half a dozen eggs will be normal, and then they'll throw it out. I think it's just mainly their reproductive tract, their egg tract. just kind of had a glitch, so monitor it. If it continues to happen, go ahead and call that bird and select a replacement for her. 340 Quail Farm says, good morning, everyone. Glad you could join us. A lot of Spoon says, what's a fairy egg? Just a tiny egg. They call them fairy eggs, fart eggs, practice eggs. Andy says, bad, lazy dog owners are the worst. Yep. I don't know. You guys, Cookie, come here. Come here. Show off your bikini. Come here. She's tired, guys. She's in heat. But I don't know if you can see. I can't reach her, but she's wearing a diaper right now because she's in heat. Hampton Homestead's in the house. Good morning. Glad you could join us. Talking to Aaron. Bill says, good morning and Merry Christmas. I bred LSU white Coturnix with black, got lavender birds, just beautiful. Cool. Yeah, the blacks, I'm still not 100% sure on what's going on with the black bloodlines. I mean, I know it's a mix of all, various colors that creates that. And I think, trying to think of what color that or what gene is in the onyx gene, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really up on the blacks, but that's cool that you got lavender. I mean, a lot of people really want lavenders. The Beaky says, I'm gambling on some very expensive mail order eggs this spring. Everyone pray that my, I don't know what those are, smart Honus hatch. I don't know. Is that a chicken or something? Fuzzy's Pet Grooming says, thanks. Andy, hello, Aaron. Missed your live. Took my granddaughter out Christmas light seeing. Kim says, sent info on messengers. Are 4 to 5 month old birds still okay to cull? Are they too old? I'm new to this. Oh, you mean as far as butchering for consumption? No, 4 to 5 months is fine. I mean, I eat birds that are older than that. 6, 7, 8 months old. I usually don't eat my old hens, that are pushing over a year old. I usually butcher them and just feed them to the dogs. But yeah, 4 to 5 months, fine for eating. And a lot too depends on how you cook them. .340 Quail Farm says, how do you deal with birds with long beaks? I don't try to. I mean, you can, if it's a line that consistently produces really long beaks, I don't even want them in my lines. But Michael Rose, I asked him about that a couple years ago, and he said what you can do is hang one of those Lord, I don't even know what they call them, pumice stone. Like you hang it inside the cage and it lets the bird kind of scratch at it and whatnot with its beak, and they say that it will kind of file the beak down to a presentable size. But I don't like it. I mean, that's one of my selection criteria when I am selecting breeders, is that's one of the first things I look at is, head structure, beak structure, body structure, and everything. So yeah, anything that is producing birds with long beaks, I call. And I've noticed that it's a genetic trait because I got, certain lines from certain breeders, and I can continue to get, have issues with the long beaks and scissor beaks and whatnot. So no, I just call them out. Kim says, Nabiki says, talking to Kim, age is generally not a big factor with quail. They're tasty at any age. Exactly. Fairy eggs are typically, this is from Aaron, fairy eggs are typically from new layers, birds coming out of molt, or if they're spooked. If it's constantly laying for eggs, I would cull because it's a reproductive tract issue. There you go. I'm not talking to us. Let's see. Fuzzy Pet Grooming. Oh my God, I didn't know you had a little poodle. So cute. We have 3 little poodles, and this one's in heat. I guess we're going to have puppies again before long. We're going to go ahead and let her breed, I guess. Redbeard Rebel says, what type of lights do I need to give my quail a sufficient amount of light to lay eggs? You can pretty much use any type of light. I like using just a um, soft white LED. I actually have some tube lights now that a friend of mine gave me that they're kind of like shop lights, but they're long, or they're long and skinny, like 36 inches long and very narrow. And they are supposed to be, um, I want to say 1500, maybe. I don't. It's daylight is what it is. I think it's 1500 Kelvin, um, but yeah, you anything will work as long as you supply lighting. It's going to help them to lay. Uh, okay, our all black chicken, like I am Samani, but better adapted to cold. Okay, cool. Good Ross Family Farm says Merle, Fee, and EB are typical in blacks depending on where you're sourced from and how watered down they are. Okay. Yeah, Merle is a phrase that I haven't heard up until this past year. I know that Rebecca Lynch has worked a lot with the blacks, and I think that's where I first heard that phrase Merle. Um, so I don't know. Like I say, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to what's going on in the black lines. Actually, I don't even pay attention to half of the color lines that are out there, but maybe I ought to. Cool. Thanks for that, Aaron. Alan says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Alan. A lot of spoons. What's your favorite way to eat quail? I like them barbecued on the grill. I also love the way my wife cooks the legs. She deep fries them, and oh my god, I could eat. They're like chicken nuggets to me. I could eat them all day long. What is LSU? I was going to ask the same thing, but I don't know. We'll hopefully find out here. Allie, Confetti Quails in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Allie. I hope all is well with you and you're staying warm up there in the freaking Arctic. Alan Kirsten says, go for Ridge. Cargolian's in the house says, I currently have a feral or outdoor cat stalking my coops. Any ideas how to keep it away? Thankfully, can't get them, but don't like the stress it causes. I can't get to them, but don't like the stress it causes them. I have the exact same issue. I got my birds out in the aviary, and I have a neighbor that feeds all the local feral cats. So she's probably got a half a dozen or more cats that hang around over at her place. And then I've got, just the regular neighborhood cats. But what I do is I set a live trap out there and bait it with cat food. And I've caught, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 in the last month. And I'll either take them down the road a ways, and because they're all feral, a lot of them even have notched ears, so we know that they've been fixed. But I'll just take them down the road a ways and drop them off. Or I know locally I can call animal control if I trap a live cat. Animal control will take them, but the problem is they just make sure that the cat's fixed and then they release it again. So, Alan says 5K is daylight color. Thank you very much. Aaron says, Terry, once you pluck them, the color doesn't matter. Absolutely. Corgolian, oh yeah, go for Ridge if it's still on. Andy Rabbit says, my favorite way to cook quail is to barbecue or wrapped in bacon and baked. That's one thing I've got to try because I heard a lot of people like Chris Carnes. He's kind of like a connoisseur of quail and different ways to cook them. I've never tried wrapping them in bacon, so I'm going to have to try that. I imagine it would be good. Anybody else in the house? How if you guys are cooking quail? How do you guys like to do it? Go ahead and post it over in the comments. Oh, guys, hit that like button if you would too. I'm going to refresh and see what we got here. Well, we got 14 likes. And considering what we got watching, Sunday mornings isn't the biggest crowd, but at least we got a crowd. Nabiki says, I have a lot of ways to cook quail. My Mary Quail channel has a playlist of recipes, including bacon wrap. Cool. I will have to check that out. Corgolian says, I finally processed my first 2 quail on my own. I was so proud of myself, the little things in life. Yeah, I hear you. It is a good feeling, when you do it for the first time. I remember the first couple times I did it. Pretty soon it's going to become second nature. I mean, you'll be able to buzz through it. I think I can knock out a bird in a minute or two. I mean, I was doing, when I'd butcher, I'd select, 50, 60 birds and put them in the carrying cage, take them out back and just run through them really quick. 340 Quail Farm says, question, I have some young males, 2 months. Is it okay to place them with older hens? Will it affect the weights in my lines? I don't want to lose size. Well, the age, I mean, if they're sexually mature at 2 months, which there should be coming into being sexually mature. If they're making weight at 2 months, I would say go ahead and put them in. The biggest thing for me when breeding for jumbo size is I always make sure I have the largest hens because I like big birds, and a male that's going to a rooster in the 12 to 14 gram or 12 to 14 ounce size is going to be perfect for that. So what I would do, even at 8 weeks, I would weigh your males and see what they are, and decide then if they're a little bit on the small side. I probably wouldn't do it. But even if you did put them in with the hens and they bred with the hens, if they're producing smaller birds than you want, all you got to do is pull the males out, wait a month, and then put fresh roosters that you want to breed with, and they won't have no problem at all getting your lines going again. They won't have any problem. You won't have any problem. All right, I'm seeing a bunch of ways to cook birds here. Fuzzy's Pet says, my husband deep fried the whole bird last time. So good. Oh, I can imagine that. That's kind of big down here in the South. Everybody deep fry stuff. I don't know what that Dak Gang Jeong quail quarters is. My favorite so far. Okay, I never heard of it. Uh-oh. What are we going to do here? I think I froze, guys. There we go. Alan says cooked on the smoker. David says spinach and cream cheese baked and breaded. Wow, that sounds good. Aaron says, I like to debone the breast and batter and deep fry. You know who else does that is Chris Carnes from Slightly Redneck. He doesn't even, when he butchers, all he does is take the breast meat. He doesn't even worry about the legs and everything else. So I'm going to have to try that. That sounds really good. Alan says creamed is good also. Nabiki said, I'd never butchered anything in my life before raising quail. It is a real feeling of accomplishment. I have an article on backyard chickens that has over 50,000 views and a 5-star rating now. Cool. And he said, only if I had a smoker would I smoke them. I'm not real. I mean, I have smoked stuff in the past. Usually I'm making beef jerky on my smoker. I had one of them little smoking grills or whatever they call them. But I've never smoked like a whole bird, like a turkey or chicken or even a quail. I imagine it would be good because I love smoked food, but I've never really tried it. Rebecca says, is there a good page to watch and learn how to butcher quails new to this? Go to coturnixcorner.com, the channel you're on right now, and just do a search for butchering quail. And there's a video on there to show you exactly how to do it. And I'm sure a lot of other channels have butchering videos. I would just do a quick search on YouTube. I'm sure you can find something. Hampton Homestead says, I deep fried quail that was dipped in egg and smashed cornflake with cream cheese. So good. I always use a meat hammer to help tenderize. Wow, I didn't realize there were so many ways to cook quail. Bill says, instant pot for tenderizing, then oven. Cool. I see Tony says when I do get to that point, I'm going to do green curry with them, but my birds have become loving pets. LOL. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I have some birds that the aviary now that are my favorites, but I try not to get, you know, emotionally attached to anything that I know that I'm going to end up culling or butchering or. Nabiki says you didn't freeze on our end. Okay, it must have just been my computer then. Rebel says, I have one jumbo wild that's laying eggs with a blue color. If I keep her with a celadon rooster, could I eventually have celadons through the offspring? If the jumbo wild is laying, if that is a celadon egg, I've seen eggs that were bluish color and speckled, kind of look like being like it's carrying the celadon gene, but it's not. It's just a blue egg with a bluish colored egg with the with some speckles on it. If the rooster's carrying the gene and your hens are all carrying the gene, then yes, you are going to produce them in your offspring. I don't know where you got did you buy them as celadons or did you just have, some jumbo wilds that started, laying blue eggs? I would try to, kind of figure out what the history was on those birds. All out of spoons says wonderful cooking ideas, y'all. Thanks for sharing. Absolutely. Smoked quail is so good, Nabiki says. So are smoked quail eggs. Never had them either. Blazing Gale wants to know, does anyone do them in a crock pot? I'd love to do some low and slow like that. Just curious how long they would take. As would I. If anybody's cooked them in a crock pot, let us know because that sounds good. I love it when stuff falls off the bones and just so delicious. Nabiki says, Tony, I've never made green curry with quail. It's good. Okay, that brings us down to the bottom of the list, and it is 9:45, so we can go ahead and actually see who's going to get some hatching eggs and a gift certificate. I got to scroll way back up here. I should have wrote this down before I scrolled on. All out of spoons. You got a 30 count of Gopher Ridge quail hatching eggs. And for the people that if I call your name, I need you to email me your address, your shipping information. Make sure you tell me your real name, like all out of eggs or all out of spoons, a lot of eggs. I got to have a name to send them. So, include your name, good address, and a good email and a good phone number, please. Kurt TV, or Kurt V, not Kurt TV. You're getting the Hatching Time gift certificate. All right, so we got that taken care of. I know we got a bunch of new people in here. I just want to show the people that are fresh in here. This was the winner of the. Let me get rid of Tony here. This was the winner of the photo contest over on Coturnix Corner Facebook group. Desiree Height, or Height, I don't know how you say it. That was the photo she submitted. She also won a 30 count of hatching eggs from HP. So congrats, Desiree. All right, I think. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says crockpot is good. I set mine on 4 hours low. We're gonna have to try that. And I got to go through. I was out in the aviary yesterday trying to get some video footage, and I've got some males out there that I need to call. So I think we're going to go ahead and I'll tell my wife how to do it in the crock pot. That sounds really good. All right, guys, I appreciate you joining me today. Like I said, I will be going live, I think, next week, Sunday, which is, I believe, the 29th. And then we'll go ahead and start up the Coturnix Corner Tuesday live streams again after the first year, after everything's settled down and we get some sponsors, or not sponsors, but guests lined up for that. So, guys, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe. Be careful out there on the roads, because if it's anything like it is down here in Florida, it is just crazy on the roads this time of year. So, guys, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week, Sunday.